I had always believed in my wife. We argued now and then like any couple, but I never thought she would cross a line we couldn't come back from. The signs appeared slowly. Late shifts at work, hidden messages, phone calls she couldn't explain. At first, I dismissed it all, convincing myself I was reading too much into things. But one evening, the truth came crashing down. I stumbled upon messages that revealed a betrayal I could no longer deny. My world tilted off its axis. The woman I loved, the one I had built a life with, had been unfaithful. I didn't confront her right away. I needed time to absorb it, to make sense of it, to prepare myself for the painful conversation that was bound to happen. A few days later, she left suddenly, saying she had errands to run and would return soon. Hours dragged by. Then the phone rang, the ER calling. My stomach twisted. She'd been admitted, though they didn't tell me why. I rushed to the hospital, emotions colliding, anger, fear, confusion. When I arrived, the noise of the bustling hallway only heightened my anxiety. Eventually, I found her sitting on a bed, pale, shaking. A nurse approached and explained she was suffering from severe stomach pain and dehydration. Relief and guilt hit me at the same time. Relief that her condition wasn't worse. Guilt because moments earlier, all I felt toward her was anger and betrayal. I approached her slowly, unsure if she even wanted me there. She lifted her head. Her eyes were swollen, heavy with shame. I didn't want you to find out like this, she whispered. I froze, not knowing what to say. The anger still simmered inside me, but seeing her so fragile left me torn. Why didn't you just tell me? I finally asked, my voice trembling despite my effort to stay composed. She shook her head. I was terrified of losing you, terrified of what you'd think of me. I thought I could fix it before you ever found out. The doctor entered and explained that her condition was worsened by extreme stress and anxiety, that her body had begun shutting down from dehydration and poor nutrition. Hearing that, it hit me how the weight of her secret and the guilt of her choices had eaten away at her physically. My anger softened, replaced by a complicated blend of sadness, concern, and disappointment. We spent hours together in the ER. She told me everything, her actions, her fears, her regret. She admitted she had felt trapped in parts of our marriage and made the worst possible decision in a moment of weakness. Her voice trembled as she described the web of lies, how she convinced herself I'd never find out, and how heavy the guilt had become. I listened quietly, trying to balance the love I still felt with the pain burning in my chest. Over the next few days, I saw a version of her I had never seen, truly remorseful, reflective, stripped of all defenses. It made the betrayal harder to digest. I realized her breakdown at the hospital wasn't just about the physical symptoms. It was the emotional burden she had carried alone until her body simply couldn't take it anymore. I didn't forgive her right away. Trust can't be repaired overnight, and the wound was deep. But I stayed close, helping her recover, listening, making sure she had the support she needed. I had to balance my own heartbreak with compassion. And each small step she took toward owning her mistakes reminded me that people are complicated, capable of hurting us deeply, yet also capable of growth. By the time she was discharged, I had a clearer picture of our marriage, our flaws, our blind spots, and the work needed if we wanted to move forward. The ER visit, frightening as it was, became a turning point. It forced both of us to face the truth more directly than any argument ever could. I knew the road ahead would be long, filled with difficult conversations and tough decisions. But for the first time since discovering the affair, there was clarity. And with clarity came the possibility, not just of forgiveness, but of real understanding. Leaving the hospital that day, I felt stunned, not only by what she had done, but by the weight of its consequences. Betrayal isn't always about the act itself. Sometimes it's about the hidden burden it creates, the emotional strain it inflicts, and the way the body reacts when secrets become too heavy to carry. And as we stepped into the bright afternoon light, I realized that while rebuilding trust would take time, facing the truth openly, painfully, and honestly was something neither of us could afford to overlook.